Arriving on consoles 5 months after the PC release, Fashion Police Squad is as entertaining and charming as ever, and translates well to consoles with solid gamepad support. However, nothing has changed when it comes to level design and the often fluctuating difficulty curve, so it remains a game best consumed in short bursts. Fashion Police Squad places you in the exquisite boots of Trendopolis officer Des as he tackles daily fashion crimes with his partner. After investigating a spike in fashion crimes, they soon become embroiled in a plot to destroy the city's reputation as the fashion capital. It's one part crime story, one part family feud, and incredibly stupid in a charming way. There are cliched archetypes like noble heroes and nefarious villains, with plenty of predictable plot twists and ridiculous contrivances. From the midpoint, it also veers dangerously close to excessive, well, more excessive, when the number of puns escalates and it crams dozens of video game and pop culture references into the major boss fights. It is, at least, consistent and committed to its flamboyant characters and fashion-focused capers. However, the humour won't land for everyone, and it wears thin if played for too long. Now, as a heterosexual male with a utilitarian fashion sense, I'm probably not best suited to critique the representation of Des as a fashionista or the dialogue. I will, however, give credit to developer Mopeful Games for taking a non-violent and camp approach to a genre typically associated with extreme violence and hypermasculinity. All that said, while Fashion Police Squad is enhanced by its novel premise, quirky cast, and visual style, it's still a competent and enjoyable shooter without it. Unlike many indie retro FPS that stick to emulating just the aesthetics, Fashion Police Squad keeps the gameplay reasonably retro too. The controls are simple and intuitive. You run, jump, whip, and shoot your way through levels, alternating between fashion offenders and platforming sections, sometimes a mix of both to create more challenging encounters. There's no ammunition limit, no puzzles beyond simple key hunts, no dialogue choices, and only a limited accessory system that provides a few passive buffs and outfit changes. Success is primarily down to the player using the skills provided. Fashion Police Squad keeps the combat tactical by introducing offenders that are only susceptible to one or two weapon types, or require their alternate fire modes to defeat. As you progress, you'll encounter them in deadly configurations with each other, or the environment, forcing you to constantly stay on the move and switch up weapons while isolating and picking off priority targets. It takes a few levels to get going, but with belt whip in one hand and a half-dozen fashion-inspired firearms in the other, you'll soon get into a groove of tearing around levels, stunning the most dangerous targets, and blasting fashion violators back into style. To get yourself out of a jam, you slowly build up a fab meter that lets you trigger the fab slap glove, boosting your health and allowing you to dash around, slapping fashion sense into offenders with one glorious strike. These fashion offenders are drawn from common stereotypes: drab office workers that fling briefcases and need to be blasted with your to-die-for shotgun, hipster vapors that fling a stream of bubbles and need to be beaten with your belt of justice, and annoying Karens that fill the area with vision-obscuring tear gas and need a barrage from your tailor-made sewing machine gun to defeat. There are even elderly flashers that need to be stunned before blasting them with the appropriate weapon, and techno DJs with lethal area of effect attacks that require a good soaking. At the end of each level, you get to watch them parade on a catwalk alongside your completion statistics. There are only 3 traditional boss fights, but they're all entertaining with multiple phases and several feature minigames that draw on other classic genres. Most bosses also fling so many projectiles it becomes part bullet hell shooter, keeping you on your toes while trying to deal with their shifting weapon vulnerabilities. Fashion Police Squad follows a fairly traditional and linear structure over 13 missions and a half-dozen challenges, though you have an overworld map to replay them if you want to complete challenges or find the secret posters. Coloured keys are replaced with coloured scissors used to cut impassable ribbons. Health kits are mocktails, swag counts as armour, and weapon power-ups for the default shotgun are based on the colours you absorb from objects or offenders. Without the maze-like design of its classic inspirations, it's a fast and streamlined experience, with few levels lasting more than 15 minutes. The downside is that too many are claustrophobic gauntlets that don't give you much space to avoid attacks, while others are packed with vast, empty spaces that encourage you to use your whip grapple to quickly zoom through them. As a result, Fashion Police Squad is fun enough in short bursts, but the longer you play, the more obvious the linear structure, abundant invisible walls, and repeating art assets become. Artistically, Fashion Police Squad looks great, with detailed but distinctive sprite work for the characters and the weapons, all set in a 3D world emulating the look of id Tech 1 or Build Engine games from the mid-1990s. Sticking to that era, voice work is compressed and distorted, with minimal VO for the cutscenes but plenty of entertaining quips from fashion offenders when they attack or when you defeat them. The music is also era-appropriate and excellent, with catchy chiptune-style tracks for each level, exaggerated dramatic pieces for the over-the-top cutscenes, and dance tunes for the end-level catwalk. As the PC release of Fashion Police Squad can run on a potato, I had high hopes for both the last and current-gen console versions. In theory, it runs at a high resolution and is incredibly smooth on both Xbox Series consoles, but there's no VSync, and presumably no framerate target. I can only assume Fashion Police Squad is trying to push as many frames as possible, as a result is continuous, glaringly obvious full-screen tearing that is only resolved if you have a variable refresh rate display. As a side note, the console release comes with the options to toggle visual quality, disable some post-processing effects, and adjust the field of view, but these made zero difference. I'm hoping a launch day patch will fix this ASAP. Returning to Fashion Police Squad was still a lot of fun, but playing through the 6-ish hour campaign in 2 sittings made the flaws more obvious. The humour can feel excessive at times, and the level design often works against the smart tactical combat. Many encounters feel fast, furious, and satisfying, but sometimes you're dropped into an arena with so much space it makes the combat easy and dull. Other times you're stuck on a small platform or in a small arena, surrounded by environmental hazards, a deadly mix of fashion offenders, and a barrage of area of effect attacks that leave you with no option but to tank damage. That's it. If you never played it on PC, and you're looking for a campy, non-violent but challenging retro shooter, Fashion Police Squad is worth a look. Just play it in short bursts. If you've got this far, please consider giving the video a like and maybe subscribing to our channel as it helps us grow.